And we are live. What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News. We got a lot to talk about, so I'll let people come on to the chat. M.A. Khan, Counterpunch to you. Welcome to the chat. Nicole Austin, Michael Martins, PED. No, Eddie Hearn has not signed Micah Garcia as of yet. Not yet. I don't know what's going on with this feed. It shows that no one's on. No one's on. I mean, I have 46 likes, but no people that like the 46. It's crazy. No. Gennady Golovkin has basically merged. That's the word. Signed or merged with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. And I know the reason. I know it all. It's reported one on the chat. That's cool. Eamon Hennessy, big shout out from Ireland. Absolutely. Having a last name like Hennessy, classic. Great topic. Let's do some counterpunching. Absolutely. Nicola Austin, Greg Ellis, Endel 185. Eddie is one of the most powerful men in boxing. Shaq A, counterpunch with an uppercut. Big up your chat, bro. Absolutely. Big up. We got to talk. We have talks of Micah Garcia. We have talks of Billy Joe has already signed. Now Gennady Golovkin. Now he's with Matchroom USA. So what does that mean? The Zone. He's already on the Zone. So now he's just working with exclusively and partnered with Matchroom. So it's crazy. Rashak Sani, I have been looking forward to this topic. Come on. Absolutely. What do we have with Eddie Hearn? What is he doing, especially in the middleweight division, the heavyweight division, the light heavyweight division? Look what he's doing. Look what he's doing for the sport. Look what he's doing in those weight divisions. Think about that. And it's funny that he gets criticism, but then yet he's getting bigger and bigger, right? No, absolutely. It's a great drink on the rocks. Great drink on the rocks. Hennessy. Too much for my blood. Too rich for it, though. Can't take it. Too much partying in the early days of my life. Into 185. Fast car Eddie earned with Hearn. And that's what people are doing. He has that engine of the Zone with the money. Of course, you have Matchroom also. So, that's what we have. That's what we're looking forward to. That's what they're looking forward to. We're looking to see some boxing. Okay. So I'm thinking now Golovkin, possibly Mikey Garcia, Billy Joe Saunders, Danny Jacobs. Who else? Well, Lemieux, he's already beaten Lemieux. But then what's Lemieux been up to lately? I think he went to 168, right? Let's check out Lemieux. Mr. Hard-hitting David Lemieux. Let's see where he's at nowadays. Mr. Patrick Curtis, boycott this channel. Don't watch this channel. Okay, Patrick Curtis. Well, just watch some other channel. How about that? Boycott this channel. Somebody kick him out of here. We don't have any time for that shite. John Rowley, Fast Eddie's on the charge. Yeah, he's on the charge, all right. You know, you know what? He did knock out Gary Spike O'Sullivan. That was an impressive knockout. But then, he's that kind of guy that, you know, he was under the radar, and he just tried to hook with a hooker. That was stupid. But I mean, besides those guys, I mean, even with Golden Boy, that's still, with Oscar, that doesn't escape the zone because Canelo's on the zone, right? Lucy J counterpunch to you. Rob Ski. It says, Hola de Costa Blanca in España. Keep up the good work. Well, salute to you from Spain. And absolutely, I'll keep doing exactly that. Con mucho gusto, está bien. Mr. Patrick Curtis, do one. This is the beat channel, the best channel out there for news. Yeah. Now I try to be. XCOM, the promoter who has the most champions, is the one who has the most power. And I think Eddie Hearn has got that. I think he's figured that out. Because see, here's the deal. Regardless of what you think about Eddie Hearn, or what happens in the rematch between Ruiz and Joshua, they still got to go through Usyk. So a lot of people, they think, oh, well, it's over for Joshua. Joshua just needs to take another break. He just takes another break. He needs to take a break if he gets beat. So it's life after the second loss to Ruiz. He's just a guy with a difficult style. There's no difference between Sugar Shane Mosley and Vernon Forrest, or Vernon Forrest and Ricardo Mayorga. It just they can't handle certain people's styles. It's like kryptonite. Kurt Galzaki versus Ward. Ooh, Ward's been out of the game a couple years. I would definitely give it to Ward if he was still in. But both of those guys got heart. So that would be a classic fight. Love to see that fight. Yeah, but it is what it is. I know I can. I know I can, Lucy J. Shaq A, what's happening with Wilder versus Ortiz? Is everybody ducking like Daffy? You know what? I'm glad you reminded me. I just loaded that, so I'm going to, yeah. Let me post that video because I just explained that with everyone. Okay, and that's all. Well, and it's not that. His explanation rather was that he was doing a lot of busy things like charity work, things of that nature, spending time with his kids. Boxer's got a life. I can dig it. You know what I mean? So, he just knocked out Brazil, and see, that was supposed to be like a grudge match. That fight between Brazil and Wilder was supposed to be like something, was like a test, because Wilder, he is known to fight people that are not on the level, but it wasn't. Deontay knocked his ass out in like one round. So, when you get fast knockouts like that, it's not really a good thing. I mean, it's a great thing, but the bad side to that is you don't get the rounds in. So if you knock out people, you might get accustomed to thinking that you can always knock someone out. So it's a tendency not to train as hard, knowing that you can end it one night with one punch. You know what I'm saying? So Eddie Hearn should team up with Dana White. Dana has an American contract. They would take a, something, DM double C Mac. I'm going to do a video later on Dana White because he was really criticizing how things work, and he made a lot of sense. So I got to counterpunch that video, or really that article. I got to do a video about an article. AM 1991, thank you for your support, brother. Counterpunch to you. I try to make it a great channel. How do you guys feel about the new intro? Shout out to LaRue. He did this thing. He did that thing. Kurt, I was watching another boxing channel the other day, and it's called Boxing Talk with Aid. Really great boxing channel. He's very much like you, unbiased and great breakdown of fighters. Check him out. Nicola, I listen to him time to time. Good channel. He just calls it how it is. Sits in his big green chair. Kind of reminds you of Morpheus in a way. How that chair looks. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's a really good channel too. I check that out. Diuk Tay windmill is chicken that quacks. He's been holding that belt hostage. Well, you got to take the belt away from him first. Window underscore liquor. Double SB 28. Eddie is taking over American boxing, but slowly. Top Rank doesn't have the shows Matchroom does. PBC's future is uncertain right now with the possibility of being sold, and Golden Boy is a mess. And here's the thing about Golden Boy. Golden Boy's own, like their saving grace is Canelo. He's holding that whole freaking platform of promotions on his back. That's why it was such an uproar if, Canelo was upset with the WBC, yada, yada, yada. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. But honestly, Bob, he has the two best. And here's the thing about boxing. It's so weird, so. Oh, man, you aired all my messages. My son is upset now. What the hell? Why would you be upset? Eddie should be welcomed as USA boxing money going up, in my opinion. You notice Eddie is starting to sign a lot of the younger and coming fighters. He's building for the future. Double SB 28, awesome counterpunch, bro. That's true. He's, Devin Haney. He gets Devin Haney because he knows Devin Haney's going places. I've seen Devin Haney fight. He fights a lot like Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather. You know what I mean? Especially when he delivers the jab, how he uses the ring, how it can jump in and out with hooks and such. He's elusive. The kid's special. He's a good talent. Maybe I overtalk myself. He's a very good talent. I don't know if he's special yet. We got to see what he can do. Rasak Sani. Love what happens to Jonah, and he will come back great. Hey, Counterpunch, what's good? Just catching up. Hey, Eddie Hearn, he's landed Golovkin, so Golovkin has decided to merge his company. I like those words they use, merge. Merge his company. Dude, he's going to start fighting on the Matchroom, just like Usyk, so it's really no difference. These guys will, they signed some agreement to work together. So basically, you sign with Eddie Hearn. You know what I mean? You sign with Eddie Hearn with Matchroom USA simply because he wants that Canelo fight. Because he knows Eddie Hearn is the guy to make that happen. He knows the guy that already worked with Oscar De La Hoya, right? Oscar De La Hoya works better with Eddie Hearn than Eddie Hearn does with Top Rank, or Top Rank does with De La Hoya. But here's a good thing. All these guys work together, all of them. Now PBC and ESPN, a lot of people say that they don't, but they do. Look at Wilder, look at Fury. One's on ESPN, the other one's on PBC, Showtime. So I don't see them not working together. I don't see why they couldn't work together. But Eddie Hearn has more fighters. So he has more options. He can do more. Shh. We're talking about Eddie Hearn and the takeover of U.S. boxing. Is he doing that? Give me your opinion. So from Austria watching, shot counterpunch to you. Is that, I don't want to murder the name. Is that Ike or like? But counterpunch to you. Okay, Kurt, are you going to do a sporting icons challenge? The 8 categories. He passed your name on to take it. What's the 8 category? Somebody give me some info on it. I haven't heard about it. It's probably sleep. John Gracie, Guy Fieri, exactly what are you going to do? Look what happens in 10 months. Wilder wouldn't like this. Earn with Hearn. No, Wilder wouldn't, Samuel. Counterpunch to you. He hates the idea of success from that man. He hates Eddie Hearn. And I don't really know why he hates Eddie Hearn so much, though. Maybe the comments that that he had, maybe the things that he said, from Alabama, maybe people don't know him, stuff like that. Because, you have all kind of shy ways to insult people. You just have to be intelligent enough to see that you're being insulted, which a lot of people aren't. But then again, a lot of people are. A lot of people just think, oh, he's just being facetious or sarcastic. But either way, people take that as negative comments. I'm a sarcastic bastard at times. And a lot of people think it's cool, but then a lot of people don't. So, it's just really about who you are. Andrew Dickinson, love your channel. Thank you, brother. Appreciate the love. Keep watching. Guy Sherry, Al Ha Heyman runs boxing. Hey, does he run boxing in the middleweight division? Where else besides the welterweight division does he run boxing? Please tell me, Guy Sherry. Please give me a counter punch. Manda Solo S. I don't think he is, nor anyone can because American fighters suck too much and the fans are tired of politics. Manda Solo S. They don't suck too much, but the politics do. We have a lot of good fighters over here, but the politics are stopping these fighters from fighting. And it's all bullshit. It's like we have to pass a ballot to see a good fight. We have to go to White House to Congress to see a good fight and shit. Oh no, don't go over there. Could you say that Hearn is the promoter of the year? I don't know. Let's wait until the year's out. Then I can give you that. I'm not going to say anything right now. I think it's too early to tell. That's my counterpunch on that. Emmanuel Anan. Hearn will eventually take over the USA. He will if that money keeps coming. If the money keeps coming, the money keeps flowing, and fighters keep fighting each other, and he keeps signing other fighters, and they're signing on and they're agreeing. Of course he will. That'll happen. I think it's a chain from boxing channels. Greatest fighter, most overrated, underrated, etc. Love this topic. I believe Eddie is taking over. Oh, don't ever shave again. You look 12 years old. Well, I don't know. It's up to work. Aram needs to retire. You know what? I think that's what Bob Arum needs to. I think he needs to step down. I don't think, because at that age you stop doing what you've been doing forever. I think that really puts you in the grave. I think this is what motivates him, knowing the boxing landscape, knowing the business. If Bob Arum retired, he would drop dead the next week. I wouldn't give him 6 months. He'd be he'd be out of there, man. You know what I mean? He says, boycott this channel, this YT channel. Do not watch this. Okay. You know what? I'm like Shark Tank. For that reason, you're out. For that reason, you're out. And I normally don't do that, but that's just stupid. Boycott this channel. Why the fuck are you here? Go away. It's crazy. Who will Manny Pacquiao fight next? You know what, Wiley? Counterpunch to you, brother. Shout out to the UK. I don't know. I think that Manny is weighing his options. He will be there at the Porter Spence fight, though. So he may or may not fight the winner out of that, because he was there at the Spence Garcia fight and he didn't fight who was the winner out of those. So, but of course there's other options. He's Manny Pacquiao. He can do what he wants. Wiley, I really think that he should retire. I honestly think that he should retire. I don't think that he should just give it up. Floyd don't want to fight you. Floyd don't want to make a lump sum of money because he's making money off residuals of talking about fighting you, so he doesn't have to fight you. So, I think he should retire. Because what I learned in the Thurman fight, yeah, he beat Thurman, but Thurman was coming on. Thurman showed his age. And Pacquiao showed his age. And when those guys came together, Pacquiao showed how great he was, how fast he was, how good he still was. But you know what? In the fifth, the sixth, the seventh round, he started to slow down. He didn't get his second win until he hit his ass with that body shot. You know, he would flurry here and there, but he showed his age, honestly. You know, so I do think that Pacquiao should retire. You know, stop when you're ahead. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know who he'll fight next. You know, and Spence is trying to fight a 40-plus-year-old man, but he's supposed to be the best welterweight. You're supposed to have enough integrity to fight the top youngest guy parallel to your skill set if you think you're the best. But anyway, that's my counterpunch on Errol Spence. But back to Eddie Hearn, you know, yeah, boxing monster. Counterpunch to you. It seems like a hostile takeover. It seems like some monopoly shit. You know what I mean? From all across the board. Confused Cockney. I've always thought Americans view sports differently to the rest of the world. You guys love excellence. We love competition. That's why it's Hearn most likely to put his fighters in tough fights. I can, yeah, yeah. I can see that. I can definitely see that. And then see the excellence that comes from flawless exhibitions. You know, the competition is due to fighting people that you are much more, you excel over. That's how you see like the excellence. So it's a perception. I don't think it's really like, oh, this guy is so good. You know what I mean? Not everybody can be Roy Jones, but a lot of fighters, it's easy to perceive that a guy's excellent due to who he's fighting. You know what I mean? What is a YT channel? YouTube. Who's talking about YouTube? You know, shut down, boycott this YouTube channel. The fuck out of here. Rasak Sani. Eddie has already taken over America Casket. Well, you know, to a degree, yes. You know? Why Patrick, he's talking sense. Yeah, he's out for I counterpunched old Curtis. Yeah, he had to go. He'll come back because he's persistent. He's like one of the motherfuckers that has that has those signs in front of people's businesses and shit. He's in front of the abortion clinic. Abort, abort, boycott. The fuck, you don't got nothing better else to do. It's crazy. Wilson Letty, Eddie Hearn has all under control. Big takeover coming up. In the U.S., AJ versus Usyk in Madison Square Garden. Oh, shit. That would be classic. You know, and you know what? I second that. Wilson, because if he gets past Ruiz, he still has to come back to the U.S. Why? Because he needs to show the U.S., the fans that he received over here, the notoriety that he got, the juice. He has to come back to redeem himself. Don't have to be with Andy Ruiz, but he does have to come back to prove to everybody, hey, that I'm still the man. I can still fight anywhere in the world because I'm a world champion. I'm not just a champion of the UK. I'm not just a champion of the Americas or Nigeria or wherever. I'm the champion of this whole globe. So I can fight here, which is considered the mecca of boxing, which is Madison Square Garden. And I would love to see Usyk. And something's funny about Usyk. He's one of those guys. He's also short, crafty, or shorter. He's not short. He's just shorter than those other guys, right? And we know those fighters give Joshua problems, just like Povetkin did, right? So it is what it is. And Hearn is a nice guy, speaks good, and has a good charm in promoting boxing. Yeah, he does. He has a look, for someone to do something so much, you have to love what you do. If you don't, you're going to be miserable and you're not going to do it long, or you're going to have a shitty life. You know what I mean? You can't do something that much that you don't love. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things. Mr. Landlord, first body, number one. Catch up with it. Yeah. This is a lovely channel to watch, and he will give you 100% update. Absolutely. I try. Eddie Hearn, the best and probably the most trustworthy, in my opinion. He generally wants the fights to earn as much as possible and leaves with their marbles intact. Hannon 1066. You know what? Great counterpunch. I'm glad you mentioned that. Great counterpunch, Hannon. Because here's the thing. Prize fighters are prize fighters. That's what they do. You know what I mean? Metal box J, counterpunch to you from northern England. Look, you can say what you can say. You can say he's brash. You could say he's what do you call it? What do you guys call it in England over there? A knob. You can say a lot of things, arrogant or whatever. But one thing he will do, one thing you have not heard a situation where Eddie Hearn did not pay you. You've heard that about Bob Arum, fucking Don King. You heard some Al Heyman criticism, but you have not heard that from Eddie Hearn. You earn with Hearn, man. It just is what it is. DMCC Mac. Zuffa Boxing gets off the ground in October. Dana plans to keep his fighters under a single organization structure like the UFC. This will be competition for other promoters like Eddie Hearn. And it's like this. It's funny. Dana White is starting to see the light. He's starting to see, look, he can pay. Here's the problem with Dana White. He's going to have to fork all over some of that money that his ass was coveting from those fighters in the UFC. They wouldn't get paid nothing like the boxers were. But here's the thing. You only have so many elite boxers. So I think Dana White is going to promote boxers on a lower scale first. So he can still pay them what he paid the UFC competition. You know what I'm saying? He ain't going to be able to fuck with those big guys yet. But I think that he's trying to bring boxing to the light. Okay, as far as hey, getting fighters recognized that are from Dallas or Monroe or Nashville or all these smaller places that don't really have boxing hubs. I think he's going to promote that first. But then again, that's probably why Eddie Hearn's doing what he's doing. Because he sees someone like Dana White with a vision, with ambition, that already basically he structured his platform under boxing anyway, with weight classes and all types of shit. They got that from boxing. UFC did. So he knows what to do. He knows how to promote. Okay. He's bringing Joe Rogan on that side of this side of the street with boxing. He knows. Tothid. Eddie seems to work with anyone. Well, anyone that'll work with him. Waylo 83. LOL, no need for the negativity. I think Mikey Garcia realized he was used as a pawn for Spence, hence why he is possibly leaving for Eddie Hearn and going back to 140. You know what? He should anyway. But hey, on this channel, we call Mikey Garcia the mighty Badger. Badgers will fight anyone, regardless of, or anything, regardless of how big it is, right? Or how small it is. And Mikey wanted to show how great he was. He thought that, hey, I'm better than anyone in my weight class or my weight classes that I fought at. So let me take on the guy that's perceived to be the best welterweight, which is the boogeyman, Errol Spence. My problem with Errol Spence is he doesn't want to challenge himself. I don't think he truly wants to challenge himself. So, and that's just been a trend over there in the PBC side. The only person I see that wants to challenge himself over there is Gary Russell Jr. And what are they doing to him? Ducking him. They're avoiding fights. The Leo Santa Cruz, he's supposed to have been fought Gary Russell, right? But he's the whistleblower over there. Del Keogh, Dana White coming to boxing in October. Yep. Should be very interesting. How many subscribers does DAZN have in the US? That's a good question. That is a very good question. I have no idea. When boxing gets regulated and when boxers stop ducking, then we can talk about who can take over. Ooh. Manda Solo S. I doubt that day will happen. I really doubt that day will happen. You got the WBC, the WBA, the WBO, the IBF, the IBO. You have all these sanctioning bodies, right? In order for that to happen, like you say, Mando Solo S, is that they all go either bankrupt or go away with. And you think that's going to happen? No. Those belts have been around for shit. The WBA has been around for over 100 years. They ain't going nowhere. The WBC is like, Ali kind of crowned that belt when he was the man, and then I don't see that happening. But that's the only way that can happen. That, like the National Boxing League or the National Boxing Association, something like that. But that won't happen because you have these independent sanctioning bodies that call themselves world sanctioning bodies, and they're not. They cater to where they're really from. Like the WBC's from Mexico, they cater to Mexican fighters. WBA, same shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's bullshit, really. But I would love for that to happen. That would be great. I remember Teddy Atlas mentioned that before. That, hey, let's get away from these sanctioning bodies. Let's organize it and, give a national team in, bring some real people in that judge certain things a certain way. But the people that's been making money will lose too much money, so that can never happen. People will end up dead in the trunk of cars, found in a Lincoln stankin'. That won't be a good thing, right? Daniel, a promoter can only be judged on the lawsuits he has had. Eddie Hearn is at 0. Nicole Austin, exactly. Go away, LDBC. Can you never boycott the best boxing channel? Fool. He had to be counterpunched. He'll be back though. Then I'll hit his ass again. Somebody, you knock a person out, he wakes up, you knock him out again. Eddie Hearn is a businessman for sure. Absolutely, he's a businessman. That's what he does. You know what I mean? Think about it. AJ, Usyk, Farmer, Andrade, Parker, Billy Joe, Saunders, Triple G, Taylor, Hooker, Hunter. Look, Hearn is adding. He's making a collection. I remember Don King Only in America. It was an HBO movie. I think it's on YouTube. If you guys haven't seen that shit, it's a good movie. Ving Rhames played Don King. And he had a saying. I think he said something like, if you get you don't need to catch the fox if you get all the hens, because then the fox will come, right? That's what Eddie's doing. You know what I'm saying? That is exactly what Eddie's doing. So, to Rock, appreciate it, brother. I will keep up the good work. Confused Cockney, and that's why you value the 0 so much. Either Hearn will need to change or he needs to really sell his way of viewing the sport. Well, it depends. It really depends. See, the Mayweather concept can only be eradicated when you lose. But if you have someone protecting your 0, that's going to be difficult. I think fighters that fight for PBC and other promotional companies and they turn down a certain amount of money that they're offered right now is because they're worried about the money that they possibly can receive in the future. And they know they're being protected. They know they follow the system on which they are governed. Okay. The PBC, they have that type of concept. Like, look at Sean Porter. Sean Porter, he lost his O a long time ago, but he's regarded as one of the best. He's respectful inside and outside the ring. But I think that he's one of those guys that they don't protect him like they do Errol Spence. Errol Spence, they had to pad him along. They had to kind of inch him along. They couldn't put him in there with Crawford yet. He's not ready. They want to wait Crawford out. So then when he beats Crawford 3 fucking years from now, if he beats Crawford, right? If he fights Crawford, then they can glorify and talk about how great of a fighter he is. When in reality, he just waited out a great fighter. Andrew Dickinson. Al Hammond does not do interviews. Nope. Veronica Bitoni, need cock. Okay, I don't know what that means. The political punch. Al Heyman is like Thanos. He now has all 5 belts, and he's going to snap Eddie Hearn out of damn, not out of existence. I've got you, Eddie. No, second. But hey, he has the heavyweight. He has the 2 heavyweights. Why do you think it's going so shitty with these negotiations? Why do you think Andy Ruiz now has all these balls he said he didn't have? Now, he had enough balls to step in the ring, but he didn't talk that big shit like he is now. Why? Because he knows. The birds are chirping in his ear. They're telling him what he has. You have guys like Bob Arum. Bob Arum saying like, "Oh, he has them by the balls" and all that shit. So he's listening. He's weighing his options. He's saying like, "Hey, this is what I can do in the sport. Let me see what I can do. Let me see how I can spin this. Let me see how much juice I really have, if he has any at all." You see what I'm saying? Queen Chioma. And think about it, Ruiz didn't get where he was without Eddie Hearn. See, a lot of people don't realize that. Eddie Hearn gave him that possibility. You know, Eddie still needs big American names. Paola, Blue Blood Sports TV, baby. It's your boy Blue. DJ DQ. Eddie is a businessman and is the king of it, full stop. King Eddie, just like King Wiley. I heard that. He needs to take over. Al Heyman is ruining U.S. boxing. Al Heyman, he wouldn't be so bad if he was able to work with other fighters. If he didn't treat his fighters like they were on an island, starving or just like isolated, it wouldn't be too bad. Andrew Dickinson, get rid of them, Kurt. Get rid of who? Why do LDBC channel fanboys for a certain promotion claim to be boxing fans, and yes, they hope anything non-PBC to fail? I don't know. And it looks like if you would want PBC to fight the look. If these guys from the PBC, if they love boxing and they love their banner, let's just say you support PBC fighters, cool. But wouldn't you want PBC fighters to fight the ESPN, the top ranked fighters, the DAZN fighters, the Golden Boy fighters, the Rock Nation fighter? Wouldn't you want those guys to fight those guys to prove that you are the best promotional company that you ride with? You're with Al Heyman. Okay, that's like political now. But then do you believe that Al Heyman has the best fighters? That's my thing. Like, if you are riding with a promotional company or a banner or a certain network of fighters and you promote those fighters, as biased that may seem, but if you believe in those guys, support those guys by supporting them to fight other guys from other promotional companies. So if they win, this is like, okay, if Errol Spence, you would want Errol Spence to fight Terrence Crawford. You would want Terrence Crawford just to come to PBC just to fight Errol Spence. That's stupid. No, fight him on his platform that he's at. Then you can prove that, hey, Al Heyman has the best choice and has the best fighters, if you feel that way about boxing. But you're right. I don't think they do. I don't think they're not boxing fans. I think they're just like some political, I don't know, just fucking political people. You know what I mean? They just they like the politics of arguing and disputing with shit. If it was nothing to dispute shit, they probably wouldn't have a channel. Just report the news if that's the case. If you're a journalist or, a lot of those channels, I think they're about bullshit. You know what I mean? Up Counter Punch Boxing News, been here since day one. Hell yeah, Metal Box. Jay, that's what's up, brother. Appreciate the loyalty. Appreciate the support. He was from Vietnam War. Boycott. Do you think Eddie will get knighted? I don't know about that. New era of boxing. Fresh shakeup of boxing. Looking forward to Billy Joe getting a top flight fight. Absolutely. Michael S., I look forward to him getting that opportunity. He needs it. He's that kind of guy that he was a good fighter, but he did not have the money or the popularity that backed him. You know what I mean? He didn't have that. And he had to go somewhere he knew that he can shine. You know, that exhibition fight he did with Lemieux was classic, but it wasn't enough because Lemieux wasn't big enough. Yeah, he was big in Canada, but he wasn't big abroad. You know what I'm saying? So, absolutely. Imagine if the investors of the zone were to buy PBC, that would change boxing forever. Double SB28, it sure the fuck would. It sure would. People would be mad. People would be devastated. And I wonder who would really quit boxing after that. You know what I mean? Then we'll see who the real fighter is. You know, who are these real fighters? Are they real fighters? Or are they just fighters pretending to be fighters to fight people that they know they're better than, that they know they picked out of a fucking lineup somewhere, you know? Found at a gym, hitting the body bag. Hey, come on, you want to fight this guy for $15,000? Oh, he's the champ, though. Make us proud. Mickey Dub. I heard that Eddie Hearn was interested in signing. Oh, hey, that's a good guy. That's a good choice. 6 lakh. Everyone laughed at Hearn in the zone. AJ wins rematch. Everyone did laugh at him. People thought, man, nobody's gonna ride with him. Deontay Wilder was one of them. You know? Great to catch you, man. So where are we at? Man, we are at Eddie Hearn making a statement in the sport of boxing by getting Golovkin on his team. Golovkin is now with Matchroom. They call it merging, they call it collaborating, but that shit means that he's signed to do or to fight on for Matchroom Boxing because he knows he needs something. He needs a platform big. The Zone, sure, that's a network, but he needs a promotional company. He needs a voice. He needs that. That's where we're at. Nick Driver, counterpunch to you. Maha Mead, by having a real body on his record. Is Joe Louis the original bomber? Have more savage punch than Wilder? Louis did more. Louis was the original. You know, Mike Tyson said it best. He said that people and athletes only get better in time. Look at Carl Lewis versus Usain Bolt, right? Carl Lewis was the shit back in the 80s. He's not the shit now. You know, Usain Bolt could run that and more. He can excel, you know. So athletes are meant to be bigger. So I think Wilder would punch harder. But then there's other factors. We have glove regulations. Look at the gloves. The gloves that Joe Louis wore weren't the gloves that Wilder wore. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that was you know, those gloves were a lot different back then, bro. So, you know, give Joe Louis, a prime Joe Louis, some punching gloves now and see how he can punch, see how he can deliver the punch. You know, it might be better on his hands, you know. So I would have to say the savage punch would be Wilder, but the bomber, the brown bomber is Joe Louis. You can't change that. You can never change that. You know, 23 title defenses. You can never change that. You know, those are records that have yet to be broken by Joe Louis, right? He's the second African American heavyweight champion of the world, Joe Louis. In the Hitler days, you can't change that. You can't replace that. Now, fighters are jumping on board with Hearn. The American boxers who were reluctant previously will jump on board too. We could be looking at the new Dana White of boxing. Yep. And then Dana White's coming to boxing. Now make that shit make sense. You can't make it up. Cannot make it up. Counterpunch to you, Metal Box J. Poppy Strings. How many DAZN subs in the US? I don't know. Let me try to look that up. How many DAZN subscribers do we have in the US?
Here's a summary from Forbes.
Okay.
The worldwide leader in sports hopes to attract 12 million subscribers by 2024. AT&T's BR Live is also a big player in the US, while just about every sports property from the WWE to UFC to NBA has its own odd service.
Well, that doesn't help me because that's attract 12 million subscribers by 2024. That's not. Okay, here we go. The Zone reported to have more than 4 million subscribers since starting the operation last year. So 4 million or more than 4 million. So there we have it. Queen Chioma, Madison Square Garden would be amazing. I'm sure AJ will definitely shine in the US for sure. Absolutely. Who has Wilder beat that makes him think he's so great? I don't know. I have no idea. Has pay-per-view prices been reduced in America since the Zone release? Nope, they have not. They're still 75 fucking dollars. And I know what that is. They're doing it as long as people pay for it. They don't care about the illegal streams as long as they have a bulk of people. They get so many buys that people have legitimately paid. They're $75 for. They're trying to do it as long as they can before they go belly up. That's what I believe. James Gillibrand, best channel on boxing. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Joseph Malunga, smash the like button, by the way. Absolutely. Please smash the like button. Let's do it. Callum Smith going to beat any of the middle superweight. Yeah. Look, Callum Smith is hey, he's the truth, man. You got to watch out for that guy. What do you actually think happened with AJ in Madison Square Garden? There's no way of knowing. I don't know. I have no way of knowing. Boxing G is so corrupt. Yeah, it is corrupt. David Mason, hello from the UK. Feroz Khan, Eddie Hearn is a scumbag. Damn. What did he do to you, sir? Did he rip you off? Please tell me. Let's counterpunch this shit. Let's see. Wilder beat Ortiz. Yeah, he did beat Ortiz. Yeah. Did he beat Fury? Oh, hey, he beat Dominic Brazil. So, he beat Dominic Brazil. He beat Ortiz. And he drawed with Fury. So, yep, $75 is greed. Only one Aeon. Yeah. That's greedy, man. Kurt, would you say the Boxing Super Series is a tournament that is here to stay or just a flash in the pan? It depends. I think they'll implement it when it's convenient for them. If they want certain fighters that are not really targeted for like huge fights, I think they will implement and create a super series for those guys. BA 13100, is Eddie Hearn preparing the after Joshua? He don't believe he can win the rematch. I think he's doing that anyway. I think he's a businessman. Eddie Hearn is going to prepare for the worst anyway. As optimistic as he might be towards AJ, why do you think Usyk? Why do you think, you got Billy Joe and then now the Golovkin? Because he's looking for people. He's looking for that next guy. See, with Usyk, if Ruiz beats him, he still has to fight Usyk. Usyk will give Andy Ruiz all kind of problems, if not knock him out. He will definitely outbox him because it will be a good fight, though. I mean, not taking anything away from Ruiz, but Usyk is a different type of animal, Lost one. Hey, Kurt, just got here. What's quick on the topic? Is Eddie Hearn in the takeover? Eddie Hearn in the takeover. Jonathan, what's your opinion on the 175 division? I think it's hot. I think it's hot right now. You got Pit Rog up there. You got Yard. He's going to show what he has to offer, when he steps up in competition with Kovalev. Then, you got Bertabiev and was it Vostik? Vosdik? They're fighting. Vosdik did a number on Superman, retired that man, and Superman fought his heart out, but, he ended up in a coma for a very long time fucking with that guy. So, yeah, it looks good. You know what I mean? You got a couple other fighters up there, too. So, Canelo might go up there and test his might, right? So, it looks good. Light heavyweight division looks very good. Why not? Dillian White will be undisputed by the end of 2020. Peter Fletcher, that's if they don't stop fucking over him, he won't. You know what I mean? Scorpio 11. Hey, Kurt, just made it in. Love your channel. Thank you, brother. Appreciate the support. Heyman will either start letting fighters fight fighters on some will walk, seeing fighters on the other side of the street, filling up the bank accounts. Jerry B, that could happen. Let's hope that happens. Let's hope he sees all these fighters start to wake the fuck up, get the pin or the chip out of the neck that Al Heyman inserted. You know what I mean? And, oh yeah, I've seen that tattoo of the lion and shit. I got to do a video on that here soon. I will do that probably today or tomorrow. Got a lot of other shit to do. Julian Anaya, what happened is that AJ got exposed. What happened is AJ asked, a lot of things happened to AJ. Exposed, I don't think it's one of them. Because if he was exposed in that fight, that means he was exposed a long time ago. Let's look at that. It ain't like that didn't happen to AJ before. He just never lost before. He just never not recovered before. So a lot of things happened with AJ. But of course, we got to see who AJ is. He's suffered defeat. Now we have to see what he's about in the ring again. So let's see what he can do with that guy after taking his first loss. We have to see what he's about. Who's to say in 2027 Hearn signs with ESPN or HBO? I would love to see HBO back in the mix, man. I miss HBO. Bring Jim Lampley back. I don't know about Harold Edelman because he's like fucking Bob Arum's age, so he might be dead by then. But, I would love to see him back on HBO. Hearn is a breath of fresh air for boxing, and yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's just trying to get fighters paid, trying to see the best fights because, over here we have a system on we try to wait and build fights and shit like that. You know what I mean? So Chisora would clean Wilder. I don't know. I don't know about that one. I don't know about Chisora cleaning Wilder. I'd like to see him fight Wilder, but then if Chisora would fight Wilder, why don't Wilder fight fucking White? And White's beat him. Because if he could fight Chisora, that would really be shitty. He'd call a peasant. Well, you're beating the peasant's leftovers. So what do we got? Do you think Eddie Hearn will leave Sky Sports and go with the Zone when they launch in the UK? Maybe. It's possible. Why wouldn't he? So it is what it is. But then Hearn deserves much respect from shows he puts on. I feel they are better than others. Umar, IFL Umar. They damn Ty Booth. But Eddie Hearn is the Shao Kahn of boxing. Wow, never heard that one before. Hello from France, best boxing channel on YouTube. Billy B, is it me or has it been a real bad year for boxing? No, it really hasn't been a real bad year for boxing. I think it's been a very eventful, what's the word? Unpredictable year of boxing. That's what makes it great. That's what makes boxing the shit. You know, despite the corruption, despite what people try to make boxing and try to control boxing by certain bouts, things still happen. You know what I'm saying? Kurt, are you named after a wrestler? Nope. Peter Fletcher, I am not. Greetings from Africa, Ghana. Counterpunch to you. Michael Pade, counterpunch to you, brother. Lucy, I'd agree, wasn't prepared for Ruiz. No, he wasn't prepared for Ruiz. He didn't even know who Ruiz was. So it is what it is. AJ has never done well with a little fighter. In fact, he lost to Ruiz. Doesn't mean he wouldn't destroy Wilder. Counterpunch to you, Jay-Z. Jay-Z Leva or Levia? Absolutely. Hearn will purchase PBC and Top Rank like Vince did with WCW and ECW. That's a bold one. Nicola Austin, good night. Going to bed now. Start early. God bless your channel. And the intro is dope. Hit the like button. Good people. We'll have this live. Keep up the counterpunch, Kurt. Absolutely, Nicola, counterpunch to you. And actually, I am on my way out. I have to hit the bank before it closes. But this has been fun, guys. We will reunite. I will start a chat probably tomorrow when I reach Barbados. So I will be out of the country, chilling, hanging out, relaxing, all that good stuff. But you guys, for all you that tuned in, thank you for coming in. Absolutely, I'm gonna hit the bank, get me a couple mil. But anyway, you guys, thank you for coming in. Of course, please subscribe, and all you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.